Hey there, and welcome back to Killer Character Friday, the series where I break down horror's most unforgettable killers, not just by what they do, but by how they function within a story. And today's killer doesn't wear a mask. He doesn't stalk from the shadows, and he doesn't need to be everywhere to feel unavoidable. Today, I'm talking about John Ryder from the Hitcher. John Ryder is one of the most unsettling killer characters in horror because he does not behave like a human antagonist. He behaves like inevitability. From the moment Ryder enters the story, the rules change. This is no longer a chase narrative. It's a countdown. The tension, it doesn't come from wondering if something bad will happen. It comes from knowing that it will, but not knowing when. Ryder doesn't pursue with urgency. He doesn't scramble. He doesn't panic. He simply waits. That patience is what gives him his power. Most horror villains, they rely on momentum. Ryder relies on presence. He inserts himself into the protagonist's life and refuses to leave, turning every mile of open road into a reminder that distance does not equal safety. What makes Ryder so disturbing is his lack of motivation. He doesn't explain himself because explanation would humanize him, and humanizing him would make him smaller. Instead, Ryder operates as an idea that some threats don't exist to be understood. They exist to happen. So this removes one of the audience's greatest comforts, the belief that knowledge creates control. In most horror stories, understanding the villain gives the protagonist a fighting chance. But with Ryder, understanding is irrelevant. There's nothing to decode, no weakness to exploit, no emotional logic to appeal to. That absence forces the story into a new shape. The protagonist isn't trying to outsmart Ryder. He is trying to survive proximity. And even that feels temporary. John Ryder also weaponizes space. The open road, which usually represents freedom, suddenly becomes a liability. Endless choices don't offer escape. They offer more opportunities for Ryder to reappear. Every stop is a risk. Every decision is a delay. Every mile driven is borrowed time. This is where Ryder becomes less of a character and more of a narrative pressure. He compresses the story without escalating action. He doesn't need to do more. He only needs to remain. Horror often teaches us that effort matters. Ryder, he dismantles that belief. Effort doesn't save you. Movement doesn't save you. Correct choices don't save you. They just change the order of events. Another unsettling aspect of Ryder is his calm. There's no frenzy, no rage, no visible pleasure. That emotional neutrality makes him unreadable. And unreadable threats are the hardest to prepare for. You can't tell if he's finished with you. You can't tell if you're safe. You can't tell if this moment matters. That ambiguity keeps the audience in a constant state of unease. Ryder also removes moral structure from the story. There's no sense of justice attached to his actions. Bad things don't happen because characters deserve them. They happen because Ryder decided they would. That randomness makes the violence feel crueler. Not because it's excessive, but because it's indifferent. John Ryder doesn't punish mistakes. He punishes existence. And from a writing perspective, Ryder is a masterclass in restraint. He proves that a killer doesn't need a backstory, a manifesto, or constant screen time to feel dominant. What he needs is consistency. Ryder is consistent in his certainty, consistent in his patience, consistent in his refusal to explain himself. That consistency makes him feel unstoppable. And that's why John Ryder lingers long after the film ends. He represents a fear that's hard to shake. The idea that sometimes danger doesn't need to hurry. It just needs time. Now, if you like diving deeper into what makes horror truly terrifying, hit that subscribe button. And if you're a writer looking for ways to improve your stories, subscribe to my Substack, where I share writing tips and advice. You can find the links in my bio. And if you just want more horror and writing related content, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find those links in my bio as well. So, until next time, remember, the road doesn't protect you. It just gives inevitability room to stretch out.